When you simplify, everything improves. There are days where nothing is technically overwhelming, but everything feels like it is. You have things to do, but none of them are urgent enough to explain the pressure. It's just there. Too many tabs open, too many small decisions, too many things sitting in the back of your mind. And it's strange because if someone asked you what's wrong, you probably wouldn't have a clear answer. It doesn't happen all at once. You don't wake up one day and suddenly everything is too much. It builds slowly. One extra habit, one more responsibility, another thing you decide to keep track of. At first, it feels manageable. Then it becomes routine. And once it becomes routine, you stop questioning it. That's the part that's easy to miss. When things feel messy, the first instinct is usually to add something. A better system, a new routine, a more organized plan. It feels logical. If something isn't working, improve it. But this raises a question. What if the problem isn't that something is missing, but that there's too much already? You try to plan everything more carefully. You write things down, organize your time, add steps to make sure nothing gets missed, and at first it helps. But then the system itself becomes something you have to manage. You're not just doing the work anymore, you're managing how you do the work. And that starts to feel heavier than expected. There's usually a point where you feel it, but don't fully stop to think about it. It feels crowded. Like your attention is spread too thin. And instead of simplifying, the instinct is to adjust again. Add another fix on top of what already exists. But when you remove something, even one small thing, the effect feels different. There's less to think about, fewer decisions to make. And that creates space in a way that adding never does. It's not dramatic, it doesn't feel like a big change. But it's noticeable enough to make you pause and think about it. Why doing less feels wrong at first, this is the part that feels uncomfortable. Doing less feels like you're falling behind. Like you're not doing enough compared to what you could be doing. Even if things feel clearer, there's still that feeling that something is missing. That discomfort makes it easy to go back to adding more again. But if you stay with it, something shifts. Not immediately, but gradually. You start to notice that tasks feel more defined. Your focus lasts longer. You're not switching between things as much. And it's not because anything became easier. It's because there's less interference. Why simplicity changes how you think. It's not just about tasks. It changes how you think. When there's less coming in, your thoughts feel more organized. You're not reacting to everything at once. You actually have space to think through something fully. That's a different kind of clarity than just being organized. The difference between full and clear, there's a difference between a full day and a clear day. A full day feels productive at first, but exhausting by the end. A clear day might have less in it, but it feels more complete. That difference is easy to overlook because we're used to measuring progress by how much we do. What this changes over time, simplifying doesn't just make things easier. It makes them more consistent. You don't rely on bursts of effort as much. You're not constantly adjusting your system. Things just work in a more stable way. And that stability matters more than short-term intensity. Final thoughts: simplifying doesn't mean removing everything. It means removing what gets in the way. And that's harder than it sounds because it requires noticing what you've added without thinking about it. But once you start doing it, even in small ways, the difference becomes clear. Not instantly, but enough to realize that sometimes improving something is not about adding more, but about needing less. Thanks for watching.